Hello there, Sean Woolley, Managing Director of Cloud9 Spain. With me today, I have another of the great and the good of Costa del Sol developers. I have Augusto Vidal, who's the sales manager of TM Grupo, which is a big developer, originally from the Costa Blanca, I believe, who are now all over the Costa del Sol and other places. And we're going to be having a chat with him about how they got here, why they decided to invest their time and their money in the Costa del Sol, and how things have gone for them here, what they've learned, if anything, and also what's coming up in the future. So, Augusto, thank you so much for joining us today. I know you're a very busy guy. Tell us a little bit about TM. I know a little bit about their background, but they started off in the Costa Blanca, didn't they?
We started in Costa Blanca, yes.
Yeah, and it's still a relatively... It's a family-run business.
It's a family-run business, second generation.
Yeah, okay. Why Costa del Sol? Why did they? Because they were doing so well on the Costa Blanca. They're building lots of different things all over the Costa Blanca. And I know that you then moved a little bit down south to Almeria, Mar de Pulpi.
That's it.
But Costa del Sol was a big decision, wasn't it, for the company? Why did they do it?
Well, you can imagine we wanted to expand, of course. We have expanded to Mallorca as well.
Mm-hmm.
And Costa del Sol is a very big market and a very nice market. So we actually wanted to start here. What we did already 8 years ago.
Right. Okay.
And we have a lot of things done and now doing, and also in the future.
And what have been the key things that you've learned from your experience on the Costa del Sol? Has anything surprised you? Because I know that your background was here anyway, but has the company, do you think the company has had to change its way of doing things for the Costa del Sol, or is it just the same as usual?
We keep the most important things, which is self-financing and building ourselves, not only developing, but also building with our own funds. So the core of the company, right? And of course, we have changed, we had to adapt to some special things of the Costa del Sol because each area is different.
Mm-hmm.
For example, Costa Blanca, very big developments.
Yes.
It's more of land there.
Yeah.
We have to choose here smaller developments, for example.
Yeah, that's right. What about your relationship with agents? Is that different on the Costa del Sol to the way it runs on the Costa Blanca? Is there any difference in that, or have you had any surprises along the way with agent relationships?
It's more or less the same relationship. We are sometimes a bit more strict in Costa Blanca with in terms of the number of agencies and types of commissions. But we have adapted also as well for agencies here. But more or less it's the same.
Okay.
Everywhere, yeah.
So 8 years ago, Costa del Sol, what was the first project and how did it go?
The first project was Dream Gardens.
Yes. In Malaga.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You sold a couple of them.
I think we might have done. Yeah. That was so far ago, I can't remember.
Yeah, it's a very good place. I wasn't here in TM, but it seems it sold very fast. And then we made Marbella Senses, which is in
On the
Golden Mile.
Yeah.
An incredible plot. This was in the middle of the financial crisis of 2008.
Yeah, because I look back now and look at the price and think, oh, I should have bought one.
Yeah. Those were townhouses, starting 3-bedroom townhouses, right on the Golden Mile, walking distance to Puente Romano Beach for 600,000.
Yeah, and now they're double, aren't they? I think at least. Yeah, amazing. And since then, you've had different projects in different areas. Is that a deliberate policy because a lot of developers, people like Taylor Wimpey, for instance, they will go to an area and stay on that area and expand their presence. Whereas with you, I guess it's a little development here, a little development here. Is that because that's the way you want to do it, or would you rather have everything in one localization?
We like to to split a little bit over the coast.
Mm-hmm.
But we focused because of the reasons Marbella, Estepona, because it's the high-end market and it's doing so well. But now we had our first development in Fuengirola, in Higueron.
Yeah, how's that going?
Higueron Bay Residences is, we're finishing construction, but we still have 8 units left.
Okay.
Almost ready, will be finished in February.
Fantastic.
great sea views, walking distance to the beach, to the promenade, to the train station of Carvajal, which is so nice. And the starting price 570,000
Okay. Yeah.
is nice.
Yeah.
And that is the first development, let's say, that out of Mijas, Estepona, Marbella. And now we're doing some more projects in Selvo, in Atalaya, and also some other new plots we have in Las Chapas and Artola. Pretty much concentrated in Marbella, Estepona, Mijas, but we also try, yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. And you don't just build apartments, you build villas. You have a project at the moment, don't you? The, what's it called again? The Golden...
Absolute Banús,
Absolute Banús. And then you have another one, the Seven Diamonds.
Seven Diamonds.
Yeah. And tell me about Seven Diamond. Where is that located?
Seven Diamonds is located between Monte Biarritz and Atalaya Golf.
I know that plot very well because I looked at that plot for another developer
Okay.
a few years ago. And it's interesting because down the road you have the Arboleda villas that were built, and they sold very successfully. So I think it's a good area, a good project that you've got there.
It's a good plot.
Remind me of the starting prices of that one.
1.5 million.
Okay, and for that you get a three bedroom.
Three bedroom with basement, with rooftop, with sea views.
Yeah, and it sounds a lot of money, but actually nowadays on the Costa del Sol for a premium product, new, to find anything below 2 million euros for a villa is difficult.
Yeah,
It's really
the 10 minutes to Puerto Banús.
Yeah.
Very consolidated area.
Yeah.
9 minutes walking to the golf club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what else do you have in your portfolio at the moment?
Last unit in Atalaya Emotion.
Last unit.
Yes.
That's been incredibly successful, hasn't it?
Yeah. You were there.
Yeah.
Last time.
Yeah.
We were together there, and selling very well.
Has that been would you say you're the guy that sees everything TM on the Costa del Sol? Is that your most successful development, would you say? Is that the one that
Probably. Miradores del Sol sold very, very good as well.
It did.
All three phases.
Yeah.
But Atalaya, we haven't finished yet, and we will finish in next year, January somehow.
I guess the thing about Atalaya Emotion and Miradores del Sol is that the locations were really good, weren't they? Yeah. Because you're very close to everything. Miradores, for those of you who don't know, is at the bottom of the Cancelada roundabout, which leads up to Los Flamingos, and now you can walk to 2 or 3 supermarkets, pharmacy. You've got the bus route. Everything is gone.
The beach.
The beach over the road. So, great location. Atalaya Emotion, slightly further back, but again, so easy to get to Puerto Banús and Marbella and Estepona. So great locations. What else do you have? You have another one that you're very very keen on in Selvo, yeah?
Selvo, a very nice plot. It's on a hill.
What's that called again? That's Marine
Hills.
Hills. Yeah.
We're building already phase 1.
Mm-hmm.
We started building last month, and that's going to be 180 apartments with beautiful sea views. All apartments with great spectacular sea views because it's right on top of the hill.
Yeah.
Yet only 2 kilometers to the beach, and with infinity pool overlooking the sea, with also summer pool with jacuzzis, with sauna, spa, gym, etc. Everything also with sea view.
Fantastic.
Very, very nice, and it's selling really quick.
And what's the starting price there?
Now it's 539,000 for a 2-bedroom.
It's incredible. I went up to Selvo a couple of weeks ago. I hadn't been for quite a while, probably a year. Wow. The whole area is transformed.
Yeah.
And it used to look a little bit scruffy, but now all these new developments, because you're not the only developer there. But it's great because when we have a client, we can take them to 1, 2, 3, 4, and they have a choice of product, which is fantastic. So Selvo is kind of one of the next growth areas. They're putting Starlight in there. I think the new concert venue may be going in there. You've got the new little commercial area. There's lots going on. It's very exciting. Anything else in the pipeline? Anything else coming down the stream that you can tell us about?
We have the last 2 villas in Absolute Banús.
Yes.
On the beach, or 200 meters to the beach of Puerto Banús.
And they're ready to go?
They are ready in January.
Okay.
We finish in January.
Okay.
For 3.5 million.
Right. Okay. But that's prime location, isn't it?
Prime location. And Zig houses. And almost key ready. Yeah.
Amazing.
And upcoming 2 more plots we bought.
Okay.
We're working on the project in Las Chapas.
Okay. Lovely.
And we have one in Las Chapas, and then below the road in Artola, another project is right
Moving that way.
in Walkedes to Niki Beach.
Yeah. Fabulous.
Very nice for 7-8 villas. We're working on both projects now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Have you found since COVID, has there been a change in the market for you and for TM? Have things moved quickly or
Absolutely.
yeah?
Yeah.
Um,
You know,
And who's your ideal buyer? Who what is the profile of the people who are looking at your developments? Is it particular nationality or age group or
it depends on over time. You know, our main client was usually a Swedish client.
okay.
But after COVID was a mix of a lot of Central Europe clients. When the war in Ukraine started, we had and we still have many Ukrainian clients and Russian clients,
Right. Okay.
and many Dutch clients at the moment, also buying in Marine Hills, actually.
Wow. Any Americans?
Americans as well.
Okay. So
Yeah.
it's a typical.
Yeah, so because we have a wide portfolio of product, we have big villas, we have small apartments, big apartments, great penthouses. So we cover more or less most of the market and the nationalities.
And I guess a lot of clients now, if it's anything like our experience, are looking to make a permanent move to Marbella. Does that affect the type of product that you build? Because obviously, if people are looking to move, it may be that they're looking for villas or townhouses or more space for their families. Is that something you've noticed?
Yes, so we have tried actually to adapt a little bit to this situation, building, trying to have a mix of products. There are some people that don't need, that are actually investing, for example, and just need a small apartment. But people that want to move here permanently or spend a long time in the year, we're trying to make also big apartments and especially very big outdoor spaces and terraces.
That's important. Yeah.
In Higueron Bay, for example, the very smallest terrace is 30 square meters.
Wow.
For instance, that's the smallest. That's with 70 square meter terraces. So this is one of the consequences.
That's amazing.
Mm.
And I hate to take you back to the COVID days, but we have to mention it because the market has changed since COVID. I think we all lived through that and thought, oh my God, are we going to have a business left? What's happening to the world? And of course, it created a little bit of a boom here in Marbella for a couple of years where people decided they wanted to move here and set up their lives here and their businesses here, which is fantastic. During COVID, did you guys keep on selling or did you just shut the doors and forget about it? I'm guessing the size of your business, you kind of had to keep on moving, yeah?
We kept moving. We kept selling. We kept building. We only had to stop for 2 weeks when the government said, stop. Nobody has to do anything. But we actually were faster. I know many developers said, slow down. We don't know what's going to happen. But we kept building, and it was not easy because many providers were not in the position to work. But we managed to do this, and this allowed us actually that when COVID ended, we had a lot of product for sale.
Yeah.
And we made a record year because of that strategic decision.
Okay, that's
of the
interesting.
company, actually, yeah.
And did you have to change your marketing? Because I'm guessing you use agents and you also have direct sales. Did you have to change anything? Did you have to go on video? How did you have to pivot to change?
We did a couple of things, actually. We weren't doing then so many virtual viewings, for example, with the clients. And we started to put this on the center of the strategy.
Okay.
Because people were buying, the ones who were buying, nobody could actually travel,
Yeah.
So we were going to the client with the virtual viewings, which still is now a big strategy of the company, of course. And also we opened delegations, offices, sales offices in different countries in Europe.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So we started an office in Poland, another one in Germany, in Belgium, and in
Somewhere else.
somewhere else.
Has that worked for you?
It's it depends. Sweden.
Sweden. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It depends on the country,
Right.
and the situation of each country. So Sweden works sometimes very well, but now the big market, the one who's doing very well, is Poland. Very, very well, very well. Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? We don't get too many Polish clients, but I know agents who all they do is just deal with the Polish clients, and
Yeah.
that is a very active market at the
Very
moment for obvious reasons. But that's interesting. I want to ask you about the Costa del Sol in general, because it's a fantastic place to be. It's a fantastic place to live. I'm sure you agree with that. Are you from the Costa del Sol? Or
No, I'm originally from Valladolid.
okay.
Yes.
Oh wow. Okay. So when did you move down here? Did you move down here for work, for business?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, it was around 12 years ago, something like that. Yeah.
Okay. So I can ask you this question quite objectively then, because I've heard a few of our clients and a few people online are saying that, yeah, the Costa del Sol, it's amazing, it's beautiful, there's lots going on, but it's in danger of eating itself up. It's so busy. Everybody wants a piece of it, but can the roads sustain it? Can the infrastructure sustain it? Are we going to run out of water? Maybe not this week, but it's what's your thoughts? Are you still confident in the future of Marbella and the Costa del Sol, or can you see a few problems that we need to fix?
Well, you mentioned infrastructures. We know that the politicians have to take some decisions about that, especially with the roads.
Mm.
I think that's an important thing. About, I don't know, water. Now we're doing well.
Robert, I was doing great.
There are some issues with that, but it's a matter of adapting to the new times, I think.
We see a lot of new developments, so I blamed you. It's all your fault.
Besides,
The Cancelada roundabouts where you've built Miradores del Sol. I used to live in Los Flamingos, and it used to be drive down the road to the Cancelada roundabout, round with, and then since all the developments at the bottom of the hill,
that queue there, yeah.
it's like, wow, oh my
Yeah.
goodness. And a few people have mentioned it to me, like, when's it going to stop? Because they're building another huge development up near Los Flamingos now at the back of Cancelada, and it's all the pressure is going to be on that one roundabout. And that I'm just using that as an example of many similar situations along the coast.
Yeah.
There doesn't seem to be any kind of solution from the local government to fix that. It's kind of like, well, you developers, you carry on building and we'll just deal with the consequences later. But the consequences are gonna be, people are gonna get fed up and they're gonna go, I don't want to be here anymore. Do you think we're in danger of that?
Well, I think
How can you help? Are you going to build some more roundabouts for us?
probably. Does it have to do with gentrification?
Mm.
Probably the developers have to develop somewhere else already. So not only in Marbella, Estepona, but in a wider space of land. Casares, Manilva, Sotogrande, up there in the mountain. I think that
They've got to spread it out. Yeah, that's it. I think so. And I think there are some areas that can handle that, and then some areas that are struggling, and they need a little bit of help to work out how to deal with the volume of people and the volume of traffic and things like that. Because it would be a real shame for all the good work that Marbella has done and all the positive things that are happening. It would be a shame if a lot of visitors and a lot of residents turned around and said, "Oh, this is just hard work now." It's hard work to get from Marbella to Puerto Banús to San Pedro to
yeah, but there are many other areas. And if somebody comes here and says, well, I want to be in the middle of everything, okay, you have the choices. But if you don't like to have all the hassle, there are plenty of options everywhere along the Costa del Sol. It's true, a big place. The other side of Malaga, so Costa del Sol Oriental, no?
Yeah.
That is a very nice place. It's not crowded. It's very special. The beaches are incredible. Services are nice. And probably that's the next step.
Is that an area that TM are looking at?
Yeah, yeah, as well, yeah.
Okay.
We are looking for all options, yeah.
In terms of the future, are there any things that you can see coming up? any I don't know. I mean, I've spoken to developers recently who are talking about what they're talking about, apart hotels,
Okay.
branded residences, just things that people are now getting used to. Is that something that TM would get involved with, or are you sticking to the winning formula?
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah, sticking to
We
it.
are specialists in what we do.
Yeah.
Residential tourism along the coast. We build apartments, villas. We know how to do that. 55 years, and we have a couple of hotels in Mexico, but that's
that's a side thing. Yeah.
But in Spain, we always do exactly the same. No,
What about construction? Because I'm hearing from other developers that hiring construction workers is a challenge at the moment.
it is.
It's the biggest.
I'm not a specialist in construction,
Yeah.
but I know it's not easy.
Yeah, we have some developers looking now at modular building where they, things are done off site and then transported in, because at least then they're being built in a sterile environment and they can keep an eye on all their workers in one place. Is that something that's being discussed at TM or?
Not as far as I know.
Okay,
No,
okay,
but probably we have to start thinking about this because it's really
yeah. Because the one thing we noticed since COVID is that people don't like to wait 2 years, for their apartments. They want it now because they don't know what's around the corner.
But we don't have that problem. We don't take a mortgage to build. We build with our own resources.
Yes.
So what we do is we buy the land, we make the project, we get the license, we start building and selling at the same time.
Okay.
So that means when the first client buys, he only has to wait 1.5 years or less, or 22 months.
Yeah, and you guys you're a big team, a big organization. So you pretty much, you build, it's delivered on time. You have the after sales for rental and for management and things like. It's quite a slick operation, isn't it? Yeah.
It's everything is very compact.
Yeah.
The client always, for example, for after sale, we always take one apartment in each development that we don't sell, and we use it as a after sale office.
That's great.
So for the first year or 2 years. So when the client has any issue, any problem, any question, or needs any help, we are there on site for that, and that is very useful for the clients.
That's really interesting. In terms of the future, how do you see the market? Is it going to be more of the same, or do you see it maybe slowing a little bit and just drifting along?
Who knows? You never know.
Maybe you've not got your crystal ball with you. We can't tell the future today. No.
I have my crystal cup.
Yeah, crystal coffee. Yeah.
Los pozos del café.
The tea leaves. Yeah.
I have no idea. It's doing well for many years after COVID already. Sometimes it slows down, but then there is a war and everybody wants to come here. I have no idea. Since this area of Spain, Costa del Sol, it has always a demand. And if there is a nationality that is not in the position to buy at that moment, there is another nationality. There's always something going on. Yeah,
that's right. It's so multinational now, isn't it?
That's it.
30 or 40 different nationalities are buying, and it's incredible. As you say, if one country is down, another one is up, and thank goodness, because that keeps it nice and steady. A bit of a fun question for you. Of all the projects that you've done on the Costa del Sol, if TM turned around to you and said, Augusto, thank you so much for all your hard work. As a reward, we're going to give you one of our units. Which one would you choose?
Which one? Absolute Banu?
I knew you'd go for the expensive one. Yeah. Okay, what about an apartment?
An apartment, I would take a penthouse in Selvo, in Marine
So greedy. You're so greedy.
I know.
A penthouse in Marine Hills.
Yeah. It's south-facing penthouse with panoramic 360 views.
Yeah.
You see Gibraltar up to Puerto Banús.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, we'll ask.
I can choose.
Yeah, we'll ask. I'll make the call and see what I can sort out for you. That's brilliant. Listen, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you, Sean.
You can get on with your day. Great to get your insights on the market and what is happening and who is buying and the type of products that you have. These guys are good. We sell a lot of TM properties, and we're hoping to continue to do so. So yeah, if you want to know any more, get in touch. We can put you in touch with these guys and we can hopefully show you some of their fantastic properties. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much.